There's magic in my Peter.
And the Peter is magic.
All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
Mother Goose, standing by.
Lock S-foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I'm your host, HouseDog, and today there's someone sitting in my co-pilot chair that usually isn't. It's the Minoc man himself. He's up here chewing on the controls. He's just making a mess in the cockpit, but you know, it's a good change. Excuse me, it's a good change of pace to have him. Oh my gosh, it's a good change of pace to have him up here.
You heard it here, folks. I finally made it into the cockpit. Goodness sakes. We are just having trouble today, dude.
We're falling off. It's 30 seconds. Oh my gosh, it's 30 seconds into the podcast and everything is just running amok. I have the hiccups. You can't speak. Oh my gosh, I have to go get a drink of water. I'll be right back.
Mother Goose, we need you.
Oh my goodness. Sorry everybody, we're back.
Back and better than ever.
Yeah, I hope that's not any indication of how this show's gonna go. But yes, as we mentioned, Mother Goose is not here today. He's got some stuff going on. He's okay, but he just had some stuff he needed to sort out, and he wanted us to continue on without him.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. It is a little bit weird without our friend here. I mean, you guys have done, episodes without me, but this is the first time we don't have Elijah here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys have done like 2 years of stuff without me. So, I mean, it's gonna be crazy.
It's a whole new world here. We don't have anyone to hold us back.
The two wild cards face off.
I know. We don't even have to talk about Bad Batch. I mean, we can just, title our audio, Bad Batch Season 1, Episode 7 through 11, but we could talk about anything we want today.
Mother Goose will never know. Except for when he goes to edit it, but whatever.
Exactly. He still does all the technical stuff, but we could just, he'll never realize it until it's too late. So today, let's talk about all the things we don't like about Elijah now that he's not here.
Maybe even also how droids definitely don't have sentience and Jar Jar being a Sith is stupid.
Editor Elijah here. You thought you were getting an episode without me? You're wrong. You know who else is wrong? Tucker, when he says that droids don't have sentience, because they totally do, and I will not be taking criticism.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Those are our topics for today. Welcome to the show, and I hope you're ready for a great one, because it's going to be fun.
But on a real note, I guess we're going to try to talk about Bad Batch episodes 7 through 11 of Season 1.
Yeah, of Season 1. I actually did watch the episodes this week for the first time in not, or in like a year, so I'm actually good to go. I watched them, like 6 hours ago, so I should be good.
Yep, I'm the same.
I do have a small brain, so I'm sure there will be plenty that we'll leave out.
And I have a smooth brain, so it's kind of, same deal.
It's give or take here. We don't really know what's gonna happen. Season 1, Episode 7, Battle Scars. So here we finally get the reveal of who this character is that has been watching the Bad Batch since the last time we talked. And it is our good friend Rex.
Yep. Literally, one of my notes just says, Rex! In all capital letters. I'm very, very pumped.
I am too. And, as we talked about this episode, one thing I was thinking of while watching it yesterday was I really want a show just about Rex now.
Yeah. And like his time in the dark times, just like what did that dude do? I gotta know. I'm hoping he appears in Ahsoka, but we'll see.
I thought about that last night as well after this episode. I was like, what if they get oh my gosh, what is his name? The man that plays Jango Fett. Oh, Tamara Morrison.
Yep.
There we go. Sorry, to everyone that is listening, and it sounds like I'm sick. I'm not. I literally woke up about 20 minutes ago. And so I just have that typical, just woke up sounding voice and head cold or whatever. I don't know. But I'm good, I promise. Yeah, I was like, I put that together. See, Tuck, this is why it's so great to have you on the show, because our smooth brains just think the same thoughts.
Yep.
So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. It's almost like we were raised pretty much together this whole time.
Yeah, right? I don't know. It's like we've been friends for like 20 years or something.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought of that as well. I was like, it would be awesome to have Rex show up in Ahsoka. I haven't heard anything about him being in the show. But then again, I haven't done a whole lot of research on Ahsoka. But I think they're keeping Ahsoka wrapped up pretty tight. That's one thing that they do with Dave Filoni's productions is not a whole lot of spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, and leaks are certainly meant to be. There's no accidents.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They play it off really well if something does leak.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been out long enough, so I don't feel like this is spoiler. Whenever Luke showed up in Mandalorian, like, that was a complete surprise.
Yeah, did not see that coming at all.
No. I mean, the scene where he shows up, it's Luke for sure, but like, even a small part of you is like, is that Luke? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just anyone with a green lightsaber. Who knows?
Yeah, and black robes with a covered hand.
And with the very same X-Wing that he has in Return of the Jedi. But whatever. It could be someone else.
Don't lie. There was a small part of you that was like, I don't know if it's Luke.
Oh, absolutely. I had no idea. I'm just I'm teasing it that I'm stupid. That's all.
Okay. But yeah, back to Bad Batch. Rex is here. We don't really have a each week on this adventure that the Bad Batch goes through, there's always a mission or something. And this week it's a little different. They're traveling to Braca, which is like a scrapyard for all of the Republic era ships and whatnot. And the Bad Batch still has not removed their inhibitor chips, which I haven't watched season 1 in a long time. And I completely forgot that they had not removed their inhibitor chips yet.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, whenever I was first watching it, I honestly kind of assumed that they didn't have them until this episode. This is really when I realized that they do have inhibitor chips.
Which I thought was odd with Clone Force 99 because they were made to be individuals.
Yeah.
Like they were different than regular clones. Way more independent and not as obedient.
Yeah, well, that's one of their strengths, and then also too, just the things that they're bred with, like those genetic traits. They're specifically meant to not be part of the regular force.
Yeah. So Rex shows up. Rekka has been having headaches, which Rex like almost guns them down once he figures out that they haven't removed their inhibitor chips yet.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a show of the trauma he's been through.
Yeah, throwback to Clone Wars last season. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for real, dude. Also, I mean, to put myself in Rex's shoes, I probably would be feeling the same way. I'd be like, oh crap, you got inhibitor chips on you?
He's having flashbacks to aboard the Jedi cruiser whenever he had to kill a bunch of his brothers because they were all insane. Yep. And the things that the inhibitor chip made him do, and that it's still not that long ago that all those events happened.
Oh yeah, well it's like, I don't know, maybe a year or something, but
I don't know how much time has passed exactly, but it hasn't been a great deal of time.
Yeah.
But so Bad Batch still has their chips. Rex is like, we got to get these bad boys out of you. So we go to Braca, and they're trying to sneak aboard an old Jedi Star Cruiser and remove their inhibitor chips. We see a Dianoga again.
Yeah, which actually on this note, like whenever they're going through the Venator class Republic ship, I love, like, we've gotten in the past couple of years, we've gotten several walkthroughs of like broken down, wrecked Star Cruisers, and I just love that from like a horror or a thriller kind of perspective. It's really creepy to see them not with lights on, be broken down, be messed up. And I honestly love anytime we get one of these scenes that they're just crawling through the wreckage of one of these Republic ships. It's always good.
Yeah, I mean, well, we got it in Jedi Fallen Order as well. Cal Kestis ventures aboard a broken down Star Cruiser.
Yep, we get it in Force Awakens, and then again in Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. You get to crawl through that bad boy a couple of times.
Yeah, there seems to be a theme here. I was mostly excited to see another Dianoga. I love whenever they pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a creepy monster for sure.
Indeed it is. Crosshair gets orders to eliminate Clone Force 99 as opposed to bringing them in.
Yep.
And you're also seeing the Kaminoans are still involved heavily in what's going on with Clone Force 99. Admiral Rampart is of a different mindset of they should just be destroyed.
Yep.
Because he has no use for disobedient clones.
And then really it kind of seems like even all clones to him are just temporary.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not a clone lover.
Yep.
But yeah, so we get aboard the ship. They decide that Wrecker's the first one to have his chip put out because he's having...
Who was that?
Wrecker. I hate you.
Rika!
Because he is he's the one having the most issues. He's obviously going to be the next one to break. And you know what's going to happen. And they're about to start the procedure, and Wrecker just loses his mind and starts trying to kill everyone.
Yep.
Everyone.
Yep.
Even Omega.
Yep. Even Omega.
And then, Dave Filoni does what he does best and just makes us relive the horrors of Order 66 with Wrecker saying the good soldiers follow orders line to Omega whenever he's about to gun her down. And, part of me was like, just pull the trigger.
Honestly.
And then part of me was like, that's kind of sick. She's like a 10-year-old girl. What's wrong with me?
Yep. Yeah, I at that point in my life, whenever these first came out, I did not like Omega. So I was honestly like, whatever. But now watching them, since I like Omega a lot more, I was really, really sitting on the edge of my seat like, please don't shoot, please don't shoot, please don't shoot. It's that duality coming in.
Yeah. So Wrecker gets his chip taken out. Omega won't leave his side because that's her best buddy. Mm-hmm. Which was sweet. It was nice to see that. And then Rex and Hunter have a small talk outside while Wrecker's trying to recuperate and regain consciousness and everything. And they talk about how there's just a lot more going on in the galaxy. And Rex makes the offer to Clone Force 99 that they should join forces and start going on adventures together because Rex needs more good men like him to help fight for the Republic. Is what he says. He says something along the lines of, we spent years fighting for the Republic, and I'm not gonna stop now. And Hunter tells him, Rex, the Republic's gone, and the Republic, there's nothing left of it. We're in a whole new era. Yeah,
but also too, I can as far as like what we've been talking about, as far as like the Bad Batch getting sucked into the rebellion and things like that, I think this really sets that up really well, especially when Rex asks them to essentially join the rebellion, standing against the Empire. Hunter says no, basically. He says, that they've got other stuff to take care of, other priorities.
Yeah, and, they're still going through everything with Omega and trying to keep her safe, and you really see Hunter take on that role as opposed to a couple episodes ago, or at the start of the season, whenever he didn't really know their place anymore and wasn't sure if they were going to have Omega around, if it was safe to have her around, and now he's like, nope, sorry, I've got my squad, and it's always been my job to take care of my squad.
Yep, which also just adds a lot of depth to Hunter's character and honestly makes me like him more quite a bit.
And I also forgot this is kind of where the, animosity that Echo has of what they're doing versus what he thinks they should be doing. And of course, seeing his old pal Rex, who he spent, a great deal of time with in the war, and Echo kind of starts to speak up about how, what are we doing? Like, we're living day to day, we're living mission to mission. We don't ever have any credits. We're always on the run from the Empire. Maybe we should just go join Rex and actually make a difference.
Yeah. Yep. Good old Echo. But I can also see his point too. I mean, I'm sure for him, he didn't ask for the accident that happened to him to happen. I think as far as a young Echo, probably what he pictured his life going as is always fighting for the Republic and always having plenty of credits to do that and always having something to live for. But I think right now Echo kind of struggles with having things to live for other than the Bad Batch and now Omega. And there's just not a lot going on in his life other than that, and I think that's a hard thing for him to process.
Indeed. But yeah, so everybody gets their chips taken out. The scrappers on Braca have alerted the Empire. They took a picture of Hunter, sent it to them, and Crosshair is immediately like, all right, I'll go take him down.
Yep. Just immediately, I will kill my friends. No problem.
Yeah, no problem there. And also, for whatever reason, Wrecker tries to teach Omega how to disarm bombs.
Oh, that's in the next episode.
Is that the next one?
Yeah, episode 8 reunion.
Yeah, well, I'm done with Battle... Oh, wait, no, I have one more thing for Battle Scars, is how badass Rex leaving at the end and just disappearing into the smoke.
Yep, yeah, he gone.
And I love Rex episodes because I miss that armor class like so much.
I do too.
And his just looks so good. And then, that scene where him and Hunter are talking and he's like, if you ever need us, you know how to call us. Mm-hmm. And then Rex just disappears into the smoke.
Just in classic Rex.
It's so good. I'm like, Rex is so cool.
I want to be Rex.
I want to be Rex. But that's all I have for Battle Scars. If you have anything else you need to wrap up.
That's pretty much it. And then episode 8 reunion. You already started us off there with... so Crosshair's on Camino. He reports to Admiral... What's his name? Starts with a B.
Admiral Rampart.
Rampart, thank you. On what the scrappers on Braca found. And Rampart's just like, kill him. That's pretty much it. And so off Crosshair goes to try to take care of the problem, so to speak. Which is, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to me that like Crosshair so quickly is so far gone that he just is like, okay, I'll go kill my friends. It's just kind of, it's crazy, but also that is how far gone he is. And then after that, we pretty much flash forward to Wrecker deciding to train Omega on how to disarm bombs.
Yeah. This episode, like I said, I hadn't watched season 1 in a minute, but with this title, it makes it seem like, oh, Crosshair's going to come back to the fold.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the reunion that we get.
Nope. It ends up being a sad one.
Yeah. But yeah, so Wrecker decides to teach Omega how to disarm a bomb for whatever reason. And of course, he puts her in a situation. She's like, I can't remember the directions, Wrecker. What do I cut next?
And then it's a fake bomb. And he's like, I wouldn't let you use real ones. JK LOL. It's like, what? is that a cool trick to play on a kid? I don't know.
Yeah, what sick wartime jokes are these?
But also, it's it creates a bond between Wrecker and Omega, and that's the point.
Yeah, he's just trying to, hang out with the kid, and the only things they know are war, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like for him, there is no other world.
Yeah, what better thing to teach a 10-year-old?
Exactly. Let's see, what do I have next? Oh, and so they decide to go through the Venator starship to go through the armory, because Tech realizes that it hasn't all been offloaded yet, and so they go through and they try to collect things to be able to sell through Sid to be able to pay off their debt to her.
Yeah, because they're in massive debt.
Yeah, which actually I can't remember if it's episode 6 last time we talked or if it's episode 7, but it's made very clear that they have a massive debt to Sid as far as her feeding them, letting them live there, and giving them work. They have a lot to pay Sid back for.
Yeah, and 20 crates of Mantel mix.
Yep, which is that's one thing that actually I really like, just because it really shows Wrecker and Omega really kind of forming that. I pointed out in an earlier episode that Wrecker is just the meathead big brother, to Omega, and I think it really shows that with the Mantel mech scene, that that's their tradition. That's what they do every time on missions, and I love it.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just flavored popcorn.
It is. It most certainly is. It's just they went to the local Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts and bought the popcorn. That's pretty much it.
And then they just say, put it on Sid's tab.
Exactly. No big deal. They got to have something to live for.
Exactly. But yeah, so they decide that they're going to collect ordnance to help sell, to get rid of their debt and start living with their heads above water as opposed to below. And of course, at this point, Crosshair is on planet and starts hunting them down.
Yeah, which I pointed out, I was like, how lucky is it that the proximity alarm on the Venator is working? Yeah, isn't that kind of crazy that it's just just happens to be working on this wrecked ship? The proximity alarm's fine.
They were getting all the Tech was retrieving all the data from the ship and all the codes and everything to help them along their missions, because there's valuable information aboard these ships. And so he booted up the main power drive or whatever, and that's why the proximity alarm was working.
Yeah. Which he even says in the episode, he's like, it's probably nothing. And then the ships fly over and he's like, oh, it's something.
Yeah. Poor Tech. He's way too smart for his own good.
Yep. Yeah, which actually, speaking of Tech too, later on in this episode, whenever they're going through the engine, and Tech starts to tell everyone a fact about ion engines, and Wrecker literally tells him to shut up.
Yeah, no one cares. Just keep going.
Yeah. I I love it.
Poor Tech. But yeah, so shall we talk about the showdown that ensues between Crosshair and Hunter?
Ooh, yeah. Right before that, Tech does reveal that Omega is a first-gen clone and has pure DNA.
I couldn't remember when that happened, so I was hoping you did.
He does reveal that that's why the Kaminoans want her.
Yeah, we finally find out why Omega is so valuable, because she is a pure genetic recreation of Jango Fett. And we also get a little Boba Fett name drop as well.
Yep, yeah, we do. Or codename Alpha.
Yeah, codename Alpha.
Yep.
Later known as Boba.
Yep. And then also, too, like, before the showdown between Crosshair and Hunter, or maybe, like, right at the start of it, the clones surround everybody, and the Bad Batch, they're all doing their best to knock the guys out with their blaster set to stun, and Omega just draws her bow and just starts killing people.
Yeah, she just drops a dude.
It's like, everyone else is knocking people out, but you just decided to choose violence.
Well, I mean, also, like, Hunter literally throws clone troopers off the side of the ship, and it's not like they're ground level.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine.
But I mean, it is interesting that they're still using stun to not kill clones.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe it's kind of a Batman thing where it's like, I don't kill people. And then like Batman just proceeds to knock someone's head into a brick wall or whatever. You know, he's like, I don't kill people. You know, it's kind of...
I don't kill people. I just severely injure them.
It's just like the same thing. He's just like, I just maim them for life, but I don't kill them.
He died from internal bleeding, not me putting a hole through his chest.
I'm drawing a line right here. As weird of a line that is to draw, but whatever.
I draw a line at severe injury, but not killing.
Exactly.
But yeah, so right before all the shooting happens, Omega's like, Crosshair, it's not your fault. It's your inhibitor chip. Like, it's making you do all these bad things. Like, it's not your fault. You can't fight it like it happened to Wrecker. It's okay. And, you know, we all know that it's not the chip. But they don't know.
Well, then also, as soon as she says that, Crosshair's like, kill the kid. And it's like, jeez, dude. Oh my gosh.
Take him out.
Target the kid. And you're like, oh my, wow.
Yeah, so they're able to escape from Crosshair and his forces by activating one of the ship's old cannons. They fire it at a level above that's already damaged, so it'll fall down. And I forgot how much I missed the sound effect of the cannons on board a Venator-class starship.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I love that too. The...
Yeah. It's such a good noise. Such a good noise.
Oh, yeah, and you can hear it sliding back on rails and then ejecting at the same time and then rocketing forward. Yep. I love that.
It's so great.
Much. Yep.
It's so good. It just makes me want to watch episode 3.
Same. Oh, batteries! Fire!
Yes. Thank you, Tuck. But yeah, so they escape from Crosshair and they decide that the only way out is through the ion engine.
Yep.
And this is where Tech starts to reveal that, you know, ion engines can withstand like a heat of something, and Wrecker, of course, tells him to shut up. And that no one cares. But Crosshair is just too dang good, and he's already laid a trap for them at the end.
Yep. Yeah, he did. But they have other plans, which Wrecker decides to suggest Plan 7, whatever that is, and he gets quickly shot down.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
They're all trying to figure out how to get out of this. And, you know, you think Wrecker, like, has really thought this through, and he's like, Plan 7. And the whole team just kind of looks at each other like, dude, Plan 7 has nothing to do with this. What are you talking about? And he's like, what do you guys suggest?
Yep, I love it.
Which the only thing that I thought about later after this episode was whenever they're trying to exit out of the aft end of the ion engine, is Crosshair fires a shot, but it doesn't hit anyone. And Crosshair never misses.
What's he aiming at?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was a very quick just snippet of where it flashes to him in his scope, and you're seeing through the scopes, and then, you know, a shot is released, and then it flashes back to the squad. But he doesn't hit anyone.
Yeah, I almost wonder if he's trying to draw them out. Like, narrowly miss them so that they start running, or something like that. Like, he's trying to draw them out.
Yeah, I don't know. But the Bad Batch is screwed. Crosshair is just going to go scorched earth on him, quite literally, and activate the ion engine, which I was like, yo, Crosshair he's done.
Crosshair,
like, he does not care.
I think you need some therapy, dog.
Yeah, he's just going to burn his former squad alive.
Yep. Yeah, and the only family he's ever known. But whatever. It's perfectly reasonable.
Which, dude, I didn't realize how cool it was to see an ion engine power on, but it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would honestly just watch that. Dude, honestly, you know something that'd be really cool is, like, you remember that show when we were kids, How It's Made? It was on Science Channel. What if they did, like, a Star Wars How It's Made and just, like, did, like, making a Venator-class starship? And then at the end, they just power up the engines from the inside and you could watch it. That'd be the coolest thing.
You know, I think you need to trademark that idea now so we can sell it at a later date.
I like it. I'm copywriting that right now. This is not
verbal copyright.
Verbal copyright. I'm signing a paper. It's just a blank paper, but I'm signing it. It's over.
It still has a signature on it. It's valid. But yeah, so they decide that they can, you know, blow the engine part that they're in and try to make an escape that way. And the main part of the engine stays attached to the ship, but shifts a little bit and proceeds to just burn Crosshair's crew alive.
Yep.
And damage Crosshair pretty badly. And I think like half of his face gets burned off.
Yeah, it does actually. And that's even made clear later whenever they have him on a respirator with an arm cast and like almost all of his face is wrapped in bandages. They got him good.
Is Crosshair's like face tattoo gone? Because I don't remember seeing it in this episode at all. His literal crosshair on his face.
You know, I don't know, but I'm sure that burn probably made it go away. And also, I'm sure right now he probably smells like hot dog. But
I think he does smell like hot dog.
He's a straight up goner right there.
Yeah, so the Bad Batch proceeds to try to make their escape. And Hunter and Omega are together and everybody else is running away. And we finally get the return of Cad Bane.
Yes, we do. Honestly, my favorite bounty hunter. I love this blue man so much.
Cad Bane is the coolest. And I love whoever does his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Cad Bane is obviously based off old Western characters in the classic
which we
Western.
Both grew up watching, too, which makes him all the more cool. Yeah.
And the thing I love about Cad Bane is he's not corny. Like, to me, he's not a corny character. Like, his mannerisms and the things he does, he's just this old Wild West outlaw in Star Wars. And one of the things I love most about Cad Bane is during his interactions with Omega, and right here from the start, he calls her little lady. Mm-hmm. But he does it in like this really badass Western way.
Yep. Sorry about that, little lady.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Cad Bane just has such a cool voice. I love Cad Bane.
Yes, he does. I do too. And honestly, I love too the showdown between Hunter and Cad Bane. Like they were trying to meet everyone at the ship, and they get there, and all the clones are dead that were trying to guard the ship. And Hunter's like, this is not right. I don't know what's going on. And then just Cad Bane just melts out of the shadows and he's standing there. And they're just looking each other in the eyes. And you have this typical like Old West showdown, you know, where it shows their hands and their guns and they're making eye contact the whole time. And you almost just want some kind of whistling tune to play and a tumbleweed to roll through. And unfortunately, Hunter misses. I like it. Beautiful.
It's great. It's Star Wars at its best. You're coming with me, little lady.
But unfortunately, I really like, so Hunter misses. And one thing I find interesting is like, why did he hit the droid? Like, was he even aiming for Cad Bane?
Yeah, Cad Bane's just too good, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe he just doesn't finish drawing all the way, but I don't get it.
The poor Toto as well.
Yep.
Cad Bane's little droid, Toto. Toto's been through a lot. He gets blown up in Clone Wars.
And then he just straight up loses a leg in this one.
Yeah, just gets his leg shot off. And so Toto has been around since Clone Wars and has been voiced by Seth Green the whole time.
Oh, is it Seth Green?
Yeah.
That's funny, dude. That's really funny. I didn't know that.
I love Toto's character so much because he's the worst.
He's stupid. The worst. He's so stupid. And I love it.
He's quite annoying. He's like, you shot my leg off.
Yep. That's good stuff. Also in this scene too, like at the end of the episode, one thing I love is we get to see the inside of Hunter's helmet. We get to see what he sees.
Such a cool view.
As he's being carried in. It reminded me big time of like one of the old Halo games or something like that. Like, it was just so cool to get to see the inside of his visor.
The Clone Commando game.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything in that game is done from the HUD of the Clone Commandos. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite views in Star Wars, I think. I love whenever we get to be first person in Star Wars.
Yep, I do too. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you have anything else on this episode?
Cad Bane's the coolest.
Oh yeah, which actually it's not even over yet. We get to see him next episode too.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to the next episode if you are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Episode 9, Bounty Lost. Another interesting episode. I like how they pick it up right where we left off. We're searching for Omega. We don't know what's happened to her. Omega is aboard Bane's ship, and she starts trying to devise a plot to get out of here. And poor little Toto just can't get his leg back on. Bane doesn't care.
Yep.
And he's like, Toto, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, little droid.
You're all right. You're coming with me, little droid. You're good.
And Omega starts working on Toto, and she's like, I can fix your leg. It's really sad that Bane doesn't take care of you. My friends take care of me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also, I'm a prisoner. Where am I going to go? Like, why are you worried about me running away? We're in space, dog. Yeah, what can I even do? Yeah.
Oh, it's also revealed that Taun We, who is in episode 2 of the Clone Wars, she's the one that introduces Kenobi to Jango Fett. And I have to do it because it's our show. We do impersonations. But, if you need help remembering who Taun We is, Boba answers the door and tells his father, Dad, Taun We's here.
I forgot about that line. It's classic.
It is.
And honestly, like, whenever you first watch it as a kid, you don't even understand that's a character name. You're probably just like, what the heck is he saying? And
yeah. But Taun We is going against the director of Kamino, or whatever his title is, Lama Su.
Yep.
And she just wants Omega to be free. She knows that the plans that Lama Su has for her are not the best. So Taun We has gone behind the back of the of Lama Su and hired Cad Bane, Or no, hired Finnick Shand.
You're thinking of Nala Se. It's not Tanwi.
No, it's Tanwi. Nala Se is sent to go pick up Omega from Cad Bane.
No, you have that backwards.
No, I have it right.
No, Tanwi.
Wait, no, I do have it backwards.
So there's
Dang
a line
you're
in
right.
there. It's like, oh, Tanwi's dead. That's something that Omega says. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. So Nala Se has gone behind the back of Lama Su. She was the lead scientist that was in charge of Clone Force 99 and Omega. And she hired Finnick Shand. We finally get the reveal of who hired Finnick Shand. And she just wants Omega to have a good life and to not fall back into the hands of Lama Su.
Yep. And then also, too, can we talk about how this planet definitely appears to be an off-site Kaminoan cloning facility?
Well, Lama Su does have a line that refers to that. He's like, our failed cloning facility on whatever the planet's called. I forget.
Yeah, it's in like the...
It's in the Lidu system.
Yeah, Lidu, yeah.
Or whatever it is. It starts with an L and ends with a U.
Yeah, Lidu, Lindo, whatever. I don't know.
Mace Windu.
Samuel L. Jackson system.
The Smith sisters. The Jacksons.
Yeah, exactly.
All those guys.
Yeah. Everyone, it's their system.
The Cortez sisters. They're all related.
Yep, exactly. But I love it, honestly. The fact that like she knows how to operate the doors and stuff. Omega does. I find that interesting. I like it.
And I can't get over poor Toto. He just gets so used and abused.
Yes, he does. And honestly, like the sad thing is he doesn't even care. He's okay with it.
And he's such an idiot. He's like, yes, fix my leg, please. I'll let you out, little girl. And then she just like solders his head off.
Yeah.
And poor Toto, Bane hasn't figured out that Omega's devised an escape plan and Toto has fallen for it. And I love his line. They're making approach and Cad Bane goes, Toto, get your chassis up here. I can't see through all this chop.
Yep.
I'm just like, Cad Bane's so cool.
And Toto's so not. He's such a little weedy boy.
Yeah. Poor Toto.
Yeah, poor Toto.
But yeah, Omega makes her escape. They land on the ship. She gets her comms device, is able to make comms with our heroes. And she's trying to make a power surge so that they can boost the signal and find her. And of course, Cad Bane comes from the shadows. And did you notice his line here? It's so badass.
What does he say?
He's like, you're coming with me, whether by hook or crook.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or he's like, by hook or crook, you're coming with me, little lady. And like, I'm just like, who is cooler than Cad Bane coming out of the shadows and saying that?
Oh, yeah. Nobody. Ain't nobody.
Nobody. And that's when Finnick Shand pops up again.
Yep, we see her, and dude, honestly,
the body of Tanwi.
Yeah, it's true. R.I.P. But we see like a really cool 1v1 pistols only between Finnick Shand and Cad Bane on this planet, and Omega decides to use that as her opportunity to run away. And that scene is it's pretty sweet, honestly. I love a one-on-one gunfight. It's awesome.
Yeah, and again, Cad Bane tells Finnick Shand, he's like, you don't got the stones to rumble with me, lady.
Yep.
Like, oh, he's just so cool. He's so cool.
Honestly, I really could just watch a Cad Bane show. It would be awesome.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And again, poor Toto, he takes a thermal detonator and gets blasted out the window.
And he's okay with it. That's the sad part.
Yeah, Toto, get the girl. Right away, sir.
Poor Toto. But then, like, after the gunfight, Omega makes it into the actual cloning room, and that's where she is able to set up the satellite thing and really get a good ping so that the Bad Batch can find her. And Finnick comes in there after narrowly beating Cad Bane, And Omega, in order to run away, she opens the cloning casket pod thingy and just drops a Kaminoan on Fennec Shand.
I don't think it was a Kaminoan. I think it was some other alien, because I really looked at it and yeah, the neck is way too short.
Okay.
And the color variation on it isn't correct either. I don't know what kind of alien it was. I don't think it was a Kaminoan. I could be wrong. But I always want more cloning stuff. We talked about it last week, and we just don't get enough of it. And I just want to know more. I
do too. And also in a simple way that my smooth brain can understand.
Yes, lots of pictures, not so many words.
Absolutely. Yep. Write a 4th grade level book, and I'll get it. I'll understand.
Yeah, and it's sad because if Fennec Shand really is trying to help her, she's like, look, I'm just trying to give you the life that you can make. And she's like, you said that on Pandora.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But also, I really like how we as a Star Wars community have decided to make Fennec Shand a good guy. It's just, I like it. With her here and her and Boba Fett later, I like good guy Fennec Shand. She's awesome.
And Mandalorian. She's in everything.
Yep. I like it. I mean, she's just another great, strong female Star Wars character.
She is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if any more cool stuff happens between Fennec and Bane. We get to see Bane's rocket booster shoes again. Always cool.
Yep.
He also has the dual flamethrower wrist gauntlets.
Yep. Yeah, and he's got, well, you said dual. Yeah, he's got 2 of them, which is, you don't see that, ever.
No, it's usually 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Omega starts to make her escape, and again, why must Toto be just forced through pain through his whole life? She tries to make her escape on this flight pod, and Toto's hanging on for dear life, and he thinks he's got her. He's like, where are you going? Mm-hmm. And Omega just immediately launches the ship, and he hears the engines turn on, and Toto just goes, oh no.
And I like too how literally she used him as an elevator. She just jumps on his head and just rides him down. No big deal.
Yeah. Toto is just so abused.
Poor Toto.
And so Omega gets picked up by Bad Batch because her ship starts going down because Toto ripped off a panel that was apparently super important to the ship.
Yep.
And she is saved by the Bad Batch. They get her back, and she's back in their loving arms, and Bane tries to take off after him, and seems his ship has been sabotaged by Fennec Shand.
Yep. And then we get the reveal that Nala Se is who contacted Shand.
Yeah, and Fennec even makes the remark of, well, I can go track him down and release her into the wild. And Nala Se is like, nope. If she's not in the hands of Lama Su, I'm good with it.
Yep. Also, I just wanted to say in regards to this episode, I think really this is one of the main times that you can really start to see Omega not being so much of a helpless child and more of an actual teammate, someone who actually can fend for themselves.
Yeah, she does manage to escape from Cad Bane. I mean, with the help of Fennec Shand, but
yeah,
she's getting pretty crafty.
Yeah, I mean the galaxy's best bounty hunter and gunfighter, and Omega eludes him.
Indeed, she does.
Yep.
Would you like to introduce episode 10, my friend?
I believe I would. Episode 10. Goodness gracious, is called
Episode Tick.
Episode Tick is called Common Ground, which is where we open up on Raxus, where the Empire's grip is getting tighter and tighter, or as Omega would say, tighter and tighter.
I'm Omega.
Omega. And Avi Singh decides originally to pledge his allegiance to the Empire, and decides midway through his speech that he won't do it. He won't be intimidated by the Empire's occupation, so they take him away. And RS-8, his droid, decides to call out for help.
Yeah, so Raxus, it was the CIS capital, the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which was, basically the head of the separatist group.
Oh, like where their senate's located? Like their capital?
Yeah. Raxus was the capital of the CIS, which was the head of the separatist group. And, the Bad Batch gets this mission, and Hunter has decided that Omega needs to lay low and that they've still got, the Kaminoans after him, and she doesn't need to be on any missions. And Sid is just like, leave the kid with me. Exactly. I'll babysit.
Exactly.
And Echo, again, you see that rift between him and Hunter of, we're going to go to Raxus and help a separatist. Like, we just spent years fighting the separatists. Like, how are we going to help them? And Hunter's like, well, you're going to have to put your feelings aside because we need money. Yep.
Yeah, and then also, too, one thing I like is, this really illustrates, how complicated post-Clone War life is. Never would any of these guys have thought about helping a separatist. Up until this point, and especially when the Republic was around, that would feel very much like committing treason.
Yeah, which is basically what Echo says to Hunter in a roundabout way. And he makes many comments throughout the mission that, we can't trust this guy. We can't do this. He's a separatist. Bleh.
Exactly.
I'm Echo.
Which, when did Echo become our emo boy of the whole squad?
Probably around the time that he was captured and became a POW for years.
So he's the only one who deserves to be an emo boy. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think he's pretty justified. But yeah, Bad Batch gets there to Raxus. They are very surprised that their contact is a droid.
Yep, they are. And also it's very clear that Hunter especially is missing Omega. She is a very clear-cut part of the team. I just think of that one scene where he's like, all right, we're going to go in this way, and Omega, you go around and distract.
Yeah, you and Tech go around and double back, and Tech's like, well, that's impossible, seeing as that Omega isn't on this mission.
And so instead they get RS-8 do some foolhardy stuff.
Well, RS-8 is just being a droid, and she's like, I've got the hang of this whole espionage thing. Let me do it.
Exactly. I love it. Which is why I called it foolhardy, but it's great.
Yeah. You and these droids, Tuck, you always find something in common. RS-8, Toto, 3PO.
I love my droids, man. They aren't sentient, but I like them.
You find them delicious, and yet you're just always attracted to them because of their deliciousness?
That's part of it, honestly. I really like my droids freshly deactivated, and so seeing them running around and doing stuff, just really puts me in the mood to chew on some wires.
I knew it.
Yep, which is my pregame snack before we do these podcasts, is some wires.
But yeah, so they make their way into the, it's not really a castle, compound, I don't know, where the senator lives. And they're able to recover the senator, and they're making their way out. And they're able to climb aboard, which I'm so glad that these tanks are still around. The walkers.
Is it ATRT? Is that what they are?
I don't remember. They're all-terrain something.
I'll look it up real quick since LL Cool J's not with us.
Yeah. We miss you, buddy. But yeah, they're able to make their way onto one of those. They take it down, pretty cool. But sadly, there's a batch of troopers just behind them. Oh, can we also talk about how RS8 or RS7, whatever her name is, the droid, she has held on to this vase for like the entire mission because it's supposedly the senator's like favorite vase.
Yeah. Then he breaks it.
Yeah, so they get in a little choke point with another tank, and it shoots the back of them, and they've got to fix it manually. So everybody jumps out, starts taking down clones. They take down the tank pretty, easily. And then, of course, another one's right behind it. But they get the tank back up, start moving it through the city. The senator points them out to a area. He's like, hey, you got to take this next right. And Tech's like, but that's a dead end. Like, what are you doing, man? And Echo's like, I don't think we should trust this guy. And he's like, no, there's a secret passageway hidden along this wall. You've just got to trust me. And Hunter's like, all right, everybody shut up. We're just going to do what he says. We got to start trusting him at some point. And they make it there. They set the walker down. They get into this subterranean passage, start moving about, get to the back to the Marauder, and
oh wait, before you go there, the tanks we're talking about in the walkers, they're ATTEs.
ATTs.
Yep.
Yes, one of the best things ever, and I'm so glad they're still around.
All-terrain tactical enforcer. I love it.
Yeah, super sweet. And also throughout this episode, we've completely left it out. Omega's feeling sorry for herself the entire time. And Sid's like, maybe if you weren't such a helpless brat, like, you'd be able to go on the missions, but you suck. And a couple of the bar patrons that we always see there are, just give Sid a look like, dang, Sid, you didn't have to go that hard on her. She is a 10-year-old kid.
And then Omega just proceeds to take all of their money.
Yeah, Sid starts running a gambling ring out of the parlor on the Dejeric tables because Omega's really good at Dejeric. And so flashback back to the Clone Force 99. I forgot that that's what Omega was doing the entire time. And they're going through the subterranean passage, and they get back to the Marauder. And Avi Singh has this moment where he's like, which was really cool to see in Bad Batch, where he's like, what am I doing? Like, I'm leaving my people to, be under the Empire's heel and be subjected to all these things. Like, what am I doing? I'm basically leaving them here to suffer or potentially die under the Empire. And Echo tells him to live to fight another day.
Yep.
And that he is doing what's best, that he's got to come back and fix things, but first he's got to create a plan. And I thought that was, obviously it's to show progression in characters and everything, but it was cool to see Echo kind of have that change of heart and be like, look, man, you got to come back here and fix things, because it's no longer the Clone Wars. Like, you're either a part of the Empire or you're not.
Yep. And you're no good dead.
Yeah, if you're not a part of the Empire, you're part of what's good, so I guess we should help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he sees the logic there, climbs aboard the Marauder. We get back to Sid's, and all the Clone Force 99 is like, what is going on? Like, why is Sid's hopping? We're supposed to be laying low. And we see Omega taking everybody's money.
Yep, and that she single-handedly made enough money to forgive their debt to Sid.
Yeah, she paid off their debts. Hunter's kind of pissed because he's like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't laying low. And Sid actually sticks up for Omega and is like, listen here, Bandana. You need to cool your jets, because she just paid off all y'all's debt in like a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't expose herself to any risk. And the whole crew just kind of like gives Hunter the look that Sid got earlier from the bar patrons.
Yep. Wrecker even nudges Hunter.
Yeah.
Even shoulder checks
I wanted
him.
to point that out as well. Like,
yeah.
Exactly. Wrecker gives him that shoulder push and just like looks back at him and he's like, "You're such a jerk."
Yep.
And then Hunter and Omega just have a nice game of Jarek
to see if Omega can accompany them on missions.
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
And that was episode 10 in a nutshell.
Yep. Yeah. We hit all the important stuff anyway.
I'm excited for episode 11.
I am too.
I knew this was in season 1. I couldn't remember if it was more towards the end or not. And I'm glad it was in this batch of episodes.
Yeah. But really the key question is, was it a good batch or a bad batch?
This was a good batch of episodes, in my
think
opinion.
so too. It was the good batch
Anytime
or the bad
Cad
batch.
Bane's around, I'm always happy.
Absolutely. So episode 11 is called Devil's Deal.
Great title.
And so we open up with similar to Raxus, but the Imperial occupation on Ryloth, and Hera's parents, who we'll learn their names later, used to be the leaders. Cham and what's his wife's name? I don't remember either. That's why I just said Hera's parents, who used to be the leaders of the Ryloth Rebellion during the Clone Wars, are accepting the occupation. And Senator Ta, as always being the absolute snake that he is supporting the authoritative rule of the Empire. Which the Ryloth citizens do not like.
No, they do not. And it's interesting to see Cham now in Bad Batch, because whenever we last saw him in Clone Wars, and then, before Bad Batch, there was Rebels, and he's in Rebels as well, obviously because of Hera. But,
he lives that long?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that. Good for Cham.
Yeah. Yeah. But now we see Cham fighting for peace as opposed to just fighting, which is interesting for his character, gives him another level. He's trying to step down out of this general role in more of a peacetime official. And the planet has always hated Senator Orn Free-Taa because he is a snake, he is the worst. And everyone respects Cham because he was the Clone Wars general. He fought for the freedom of Ryloth and an unoccupied Ryloth, and he's able to convince the crowd that this refinery that the Empire is building on Ryloth is good, and that having the clone troopers stick around is also good because they fought with them to liberate Ryloth, and they've been around since then. And whenever they were under siege, that they're the ones who stuck up for them, and they developed a really good relationship with them. And I love this clone that's here, Commander Hauser.
Yeah,
such a cool guy. Love his look.
I love
his armor. His
the
color
teal
scheme
is so cool. We don't see that at all outside of him.
No, he's pretty neat. Cool haircut, cool guy. He's a good clone. And him and Cham have a really good working relationship. And Hauser's obviously been around for a while. And, there are just some great details here in the first couple minutes of this episode. The relationship of Hauser that he has with the people of Ryloth. The French accent that we get here on Ryloth that's always interesting. Mm-hmm. Hera still has hers in this episode because she hasn't left home yet. We get to see Chop, love Chopper.
Yep.
The scene where, also I forgot, Crosshair has picked Gobi Glee out of the crowd, who's a known, during this time in the galaxy, he would be labeled as a terrorist and an insurrectionist. Mm-hmm. Gobi's picked out by Crosshair, and we flash to Hera because Admiral Rampart mentions Hera to her mother, and he's like, well, where's Hera? And she's like, well, Hera has other interests other than this. And we get Hera and Chop spying on the refining facility, and we find out that Uncle Gobi, gave her that mission. And I just love little Chop.
Yep. I love Chop, and I love everything else you just said. The only thing is I do like moving forward whenever they get caught spying. Just to show how good of a guy Hauser is, he doesn't report it. He just talks to Cham and he's like, listen, dude, like, I am between a rock and a hard place. I can only let this go one time. And I won't report it, but next time it does, I have to.
Yeah, my hands are tied here because Hauser takes Cham aside and he's like, look, man, between me and you, things are a little tense right now with everything going on. I'm just trying to keep the peace. You know, it reminds you of that, that small town cop who, probably went to high school with your parents and, hangs out with them or used to. And he's like, look, I found your kid out doing what they shouldn't be doing. I'm not going to do anything, but just know this is their one free ride here. Yep.
Next time I have to do something.
Yeah.
And out of loyalty to your family and morality, I will let this slide this one time.
I love Hauser. Such a good guy.
Yep. He's a great dude. And also, I mean, I love too how he understands that, like, kids are kids. This probably isn't anything. It was probably just Hera just being a kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Cham and Gobi have a little talk about how he shouldn't be sending his daughter to spy on refineries.
Yep, which we find out that kids aren't just kids. Sometimes they're instructed by an uncle to do things, like spy on Imperial refineries.
Yeah, and Gobi brings up a great, point. He's like, well, why is it automatically labeled spying?
Yeah.
Why can't we see what's going on out there? Like, why is everything so serious all of a sudden? Like, why can't we be on our planet and looking at what they're doing to our planet? Why is it immediately labeled as spying? And Cham's like, look, man, you got to let this stuff go. Like, we're, de-arming the people. Like, we've got the clones. Like, the war's over, bro.
Yep, which Gobi also mentions that he's ordered more.
Yeah, he tells him, he's like, well, I've already ordered more weapons. Like, we need them.
Yep, and then also to Cham's wife, Hera's mother, again, forget her name, but she also, one thing I find interesting is she takes Hera aside and tells her that spying is not what she should be doing and that kind of thing. And then she proceeds to tell her, now tell me everything and leave nothing out. Which kind of seems to me like she's also part of this. In that she's also down to spy a little bit. Down to see what's going on. She doesn't fully trust the Empire like Cham does.
Yeah, so I found Hera's mother's name. It is Eleni? Eleni? I don't know how to pronounce it, and it doesn't have a pronunciation.
Maybe Elaine?
Well, it has an I in it.
Oh, that throws me off. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Love her.
Mm-hmm.
And so we... Hera's instructed, you can't be doing this stuff anymore for Uncle Gobi. And of course, what does Hera do? She immediately goes to her Uncle Gobi and she's like, sorry, I can't do this stuff anymore like my parents said. And he's like, oh, that's a shame. I was going to teach you how to fly today.
Yep.
I'm just going on a simple supply run.
Yep.
And
not smuggling guns. I would never do that.
Yeah, I'm not smuggling arms.
Yeah.
It's just a simple supply run.
Yep.
Just stuff. And Hera takes the bait and is like, well, I'll go. Chopper, cover for me. And so Hera flies to one of the moons of Ryloth, and we finally see the Bad Batch for the first time in this episode.
Yep, which I can only assume that Gobi's contact for weapons is Sid, and so therefore the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Hunter mentions it whenever they first land. He's like, "You Gobi? Are you Sid's contact?" He's like,
Oh yeah, he does say that. Yeah.
And then Hera and Omega start a little friendship.
Yep, which I enjoyed seeing. I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they ever meet up again later in life.
It does, yep, but it was just two kids having fun, which you don't really get much in Star Wars.
Hardly ever.
Yep, and it was sweet. I liked it.
Yeah, so Omega shows her around the ship, shows her makeshift room, and
Flying's about a feeling.
yeah, flying's about a feeling, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I just like the line that Omega tells Hera. She's like, "Well, do you practice flying on this ship?" And she's like, "No, Tech won't let me fly until I know all the I can recite the specifications by memory."
Yep, which that's classic Tech, man. Classic Tech.
Tech.
And also, to be fair, it's something I would do probably, so it makes sense.
Classic Tick.
Classic Tech.
So yeah, they make their way back with the weapons. The Empire's been waiting for them because Crosshair did shoot a tracker onto their ship whenever they were leaving. And Crosshair's set up in the canyon, makes his usual well-placed shot,
Yep.
and ship goes down, Empire swarms on them, and they're now labeled as insurrectionists.
Charged with treason.
Yeah. And of course, Hauser's there, and he's like, "Admiral, this is a child."
Yeah, and he's like, treason? Really? Like, I mean, I'd say what she did wasn't smart, but like, is it really treason? Is it really actively terrorizing the Empire? Like, what's going on?
It's treason, then.
I am the Senate.
No. No. You will die.
Yep.
We got to have an episode 3 reference in here somewhere.
Absolutely. But I will say, just as far as Rampart making a plan here, he really has this entire next few scenes just booked down to the minute. As far as like, he knows that by labeling them as treasonous, that Cham and Elaine,
His wife.
I'm gonna call her Elaine, I don't know. And
The Cortez sisters.
the Smith sisters, absolutely. He knows that they will come to rescue their daughter, and that will create a perfect opportunity for him to kill Ta and take care of Cham at the same time.
Yeah. Admiral Rampart is a pretty good strategist. Mm-hmm. Crosshair's just waiting in the wings. Cham, of course, gets his daughter back, and they have everybody lined up, and Cham's like about to kill Ta in cold blood.
Yep.
And looks back and sees Hera, and he's like, "This isn't who I am anymore."
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Crosshair's waiting in the shadows with his rifle and just shoots Ta in the head.
Yep.
Did you notice that he literally domes Ta?
Yep. And Ta, for some reason, still makes a noise. Like, he goes, "Ah," and falls.
Well, Senator Ornfree Ta needed to make a noise.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh!
Whoa, precious food. Oh, no.
I hate Senator Ornfree Ta.
Same here. That's why, that fat Twi'lek needed to die. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, so now they're screwed. Like you said, Admiral Rampart was just biding his time. He knew how this plan would go.
Yep.
They're swarmed by gunships and everything else, and now they're really screwed.
Yep. And one reason. So full disclosure, I haven't seen Rebels all the way through, so I didn't know that Cham was in there. But honestly, this scene was why I thought honestly that Cham and Elaine died, was because they have Hera jump in the speeder with Chopper, and Elaine says, take take Hera and go. Run.
Yeah, I just love their accent because she goes, Chopper! Chopper!
Chopper, oui, oui. Eiffel Tower.
Chopper, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
I heard that and I was like, I love it.
I liked it too. It was a good time.
Chopper.
Chopper.
Shop.
Shoppy, Chopper. Get out.
Shop. But yeah. And you really see Hauser like starting to question what's the plan here? What's going on? And like, these are my friends.
Yep. Yeah, and Rampart just shoves his gun into Hauser's chest and just says, go find the girl, basically.
Yeah, take care of it.
The puzzled look on Hauser's face says it all.
And that's the end of the episode.
It is, yeah. It is, and it's also, I don't know, I mean, do you have any final thoughts for this batch of episodes that we got?
As you always say, was it a good batch or a bad batch? And it was a good batch.
I'd say it's a good batch for sure. This one, honestly, is probably my favorite sequence of 4. I mean, I think all 4 of these episodes are very strong.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting considering I don't remember the next 4, so...
Well, the next 4, 2 of them are the Fall of Camino. So, I mean, obviously those are going to be the climax of this whole series, but anyway, but I think these 4 right here, like, there's not a weak one out of them at all. It's wonderful.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Great set of episodes.
Great set of episodes.
Excuse me.
A good batch and maybe even the best batch.
Ooh. We'll just have to see.
That we will. That we will, my friend.
Wow.
But, all right. Well, if you don't have any other thoughts, take us out, homie.
Yeah, no, it was a great episode. Glad you were here. Glad I got to do it with you. Hopefully Mother Goose will be back next episode. He should be. But no, we did good. We managed to stick to like an hour, I think.
Hour and 20 is what I got, so nothing horrible.
Hour 20.
Yep.
And, you know, we did it. So, yeah, if you don't have anything, I'm good. Any final closing thoughts?
Not really. You know, as always, I'm really happy to be on this show talking about Star Wars with my buddies, you know? And it's just always a good time. If you have any questions or want to be part of the conversation, feel free to email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com.
I guess Elijah's out of a job now.
Yep, that's right. I took it.
Yeah. So, well, everyone, this has been the Animal Squadron podcast. We appreciate you tuning in and listening this week. And we'll be back next week with another one. So,
for now, this has been Minot Tuck
and HouseDog. And Mother Goose is out there floating in the galaxy somewhere. We'll see you again next week.
We will catch you later, friends. Goodbye.